Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Saturday. Sorry, guys, about the video yesterday. I thought I had posted it as public, and guess what? Brain dead guy forgot to hit, public. So it's up there now. But what's today's topic? Well, today is Saturday. I got the boys coming in to hunt here shortly. So I thought a great topic, since I kind of go off the rail on the weekends, is no one's asking you to be perfect, and God doesn't expect it. So stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, if you didn't already know it. And yes, this is the weekend. The weekday, Monday through Friday, we do business. But on the weekend, kind of go off the rails a little bit. Today is the 29th of November of 2025. So, why do we strive for perfection? I always considered myself when I was growing up that I was a perfectionist. I was always trying to achieve something that isn't achievable. And God isn't asking me to be that way. God is saying just do your best. He's not expecting perfection. So why should we? What happens when you strive for perfection? You're your worst critic. You're never going to be satisfied, no matter how good you did. And it's just going to be that never-ending cycle. So how do you break out of it? Well, here are a few things that I can tell you that were taking place when I was doing it, and see if it rings a bell. I was always comparing myself to somebody else that was better than I was. And that was my goal, was to be better than they were. And it never worked out. It never did. Because I didn't understand the amount of drive, time, and effort that other person was putting in. I didn't know. I just assumed that they were just coming at it like I was. And they weren't. They were putting in a lot more time and effort than I ever thought I could and would. One of the biggest things that I've learned in life is never compare yourself to other people. And why is that? Because you don't know the background. You don't know what they're doing in the background, and you have no clue what's really going on inside them that has that drive to also be a perfectionist. For me, things started to change when I stopped competing with others and I started competing with myself. Because what happens when you compete with others? Let's say you are better than somebody else, but is that the best you can be? Is that what God wanted you to be? Is mediocre at best? Because you don't know, that person that you're competing with may be mediocre. So the bar that you're stepping over is very low, and you could do so much more. But how do you do that? Well, that's what I'm getting to. And that is, you compete with yourself every day. With yourself. What I try to do is I try to be better than I was yesterday. And when I say better, you can talk about an athletic thing and becoming like an all-star basketball player. That ain't never going to happen. White men can't jump. This one can't anyways. So it all depends upon what our goals are in life. And is it something that we really want? See, the people that achieve greatness are the people that have drive within themselves and a reason to be doing it, okay? And some may be monetary. Some may be, fame, fortune, all sorts of stuff. Some may do it just out of love because they love doing it. And that's where you want to be. You want to be in that love category, okay? It's no different than running a repair shop or any other business that you're in. If you try to be better than you were the day before, if you're able to look at yourself honestly and say, this is where I'm screwing up, this is what I need to work more on and to become better at. See, I think I mentioned it the other day. I know I did a post on Facebook. Is when you become content, you shut down all learning processes. And if you're learning, that means that you're nervous, self-doubt, and because you're taking on new things, the unknown, right? But you're learning and you're growing. And every day that you work at that and look at that and try to get yourself better than you were the day before, you're growing. You are, and you're never too old to grow. It's like running a repair shop like it was 30 years ago. It's not going to work today. It's not. The old ways just don't work. What ways do work? The new ways. And the quicker you get on board with that, and even hook up with some people that are younger that can help you with guidance, your grandkids. Say, where are you guys hanging out? Can you help Grandpa out here on this? Because I have a problem just using my phone to answer and receive calls, send calls. So enlisting your grandkids is not a bad idea because they're all tech savvy and they know exactly where everybody that you want is hanging out. They're hanging out in the old folks' place, right? Having internal growth is always based on just you. I mean, it's input from other people, like your grandkids. And if you look and you come into the shop every morning, okay, let's start, because I've been kind of laying out what I do on a daily basis. Is I do a reset. Already did it. Feel much better. Today's a new day. I did a lot of cleaning house yesterday. I'm just not a Betty Crocker. I'm telling you right now. And the dogs helped. Shelby was dusting with her tail. And Sheeby was taking stuff out of the trash and chewing it all up on my living room floor. Make more work for me, right? But by doing a reset and having a nice cup of coffee and a quiet space with your dogs if you want. When they're quiet, they're sleeping because they've been busy all morning. You set the tone for the day, okay? And then if you're still kind of on the fence, list off the top 10 things you're grateful for. And you can write them down. And every morning look at that list. I'm grateful I'm still here. I'm grateful that I have time to spend with my family, my kids, my grandkids. I'm so happy to be here with my dogs. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. My 10 can come off pretty quick, but I've been doing this for a while. And I do it to keep myself grounded. Not in the sense of saying that you're not good enough to do X, Y, or Z. It's enough to say, you know what? You have a lot to be grateful for. Because a lot of the things that I can come off on my list, somebody else may not have that pleasure of having that still present. And then looking at the day and saying, okay, how can I make today better than it was yesterday? And you want to grow, right? Even if you don't want any more work, you don't want, a ton of work rather. You're content, you have a lot of work. It's just how you're going about it. Is there a way to simplify the process? Is there a way to speed it up? And am I busy or am I profitable? That's the key right there when it comes to business. I've seen a lot of shops, including mine, be very busy. But at the end of the day, it wasn't profitable. We were busy, but we were doing a lot of redos and working on something and spending almost the whole day and not getting anywhere with it because we spent too much time thinking about crap instead of doing crap. So you've done your reset. You listed off 10 things that you're grateful for. And now you're looking at yesterday and today. And you're saying, what can I do today that will better myself, that will better my team, that will better my shop? What am I not doing that I could do? And I'm telling you right now, you need to trust your instincts and your gut. You really do. Because you already know the answers. It may take a little while to get there. But you already know where you need to be because you're asking the right questions. The questions posed to you of, how can I become better at X, Y, or Z? Don't become that busy shop. Become the profitable shop. And this, goes for even taking on new customers. You need to be able to define your niche of where you want to be. I want to be with customers that aren't afraid to spend some money and pay up quickly and are happy with our work. Now, those three things don't always go together, right? You could be someone that you could sign on a customer that isn't afraid to spend the money, pays you well, and is pissed off because you didn't do that great of work. See, any part of that equation that is off will screw the whole math up, right? You may have a customer that has no problem paying, but you don't have time in the shop because you're too busy with a lot of the customers that really aren't making you any money, that you're trying to help out. Now, let me stop right there, and before I get backlash, I help out a lot of people. And what I do is, I've talked about this before, I even do pro bono work. And that is for people that are less fortunate that would make their day to have a lawnmower that worked. And on me, I covered the costs. I got them their lawnmower service to repair it. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of them is retired people, older people on a fixed income. It can't be all dollars and cents. It's not going to work either. Because if you're just sitting there running numbers and that's all you're doing is saying every job has to be profitable, then I'm telling you that's not going to work either. No different than every person that you come in contact with, you're going to successfully have a relationship with. That is not how it works. Relationships take time to grow, and it takes work on both parts, right? And for me, I'm not looking for people that agree with everything that I'm thinking. I'm looking for people that I think are good people. And it would be a boring life and a boring world if we all agreed anyways, right? But if you're trying to increase work and have your shop profitable, it comes down to gut instinct. You've been doing this a while. What didn't work now, or doesn't work now that did work in the past, there's certain traits that still carry over. And that's one, good customer service. Two, good work going out of the shop because your name's on it. And also looking at, it doesn't have to be profit off every machine. It just has to show profit at the end of the day. And a lot of people that have employees get this wrong because they don't count in all these extra things that are going on. A certified public accountant doesn't. They know exactly how much money you got going out and how much money you need coming in. That's life. Life isn't about being perfect because you'll never achieve it. Life is about doing your best. Being a kind person, being that person that helps other people in need. when you have nothing to gain from that relationship. I look at it kind of like a pay it forward type thing that they used to do. And that is, if I help you, my hope is that you in turn will help somebody else. If what I've done is beneficial to you, maybe you can spread the love and help somebody else out. It doesn't need to be me helping that person out. But if you help that person out from something I've told you, that's great. It is. So as you go about your day today, just do your reset, do your 10 things that you're grateful for. Trust your gut and compete against yourself on a daily basis to be a better person than I was yesterday. So on that note, you guys have a great Saturday. Again, I'm sorry about yesterday's video. You got 2 of them to watch today. But in the comments, am I the only one that was trying to be a perfectionist for years when I was younger? I wasn't smart enough to realize that there is no such thing as perfection. We can come close, but we're never going to have the whole enchilada. Enjoy your Saturday.